Who live on the shores of South America's biggest lake contend not just with poverty, but with a curious misfortune. The people of Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela are the most likely in the world to develop the fatal condition Huntington's disease. For decades, one American researcher, Nancy Wexler, has been spending time there. It's where she discovered the gene that causes the disease, and it's a living laboratory for her work to find a cure. Despite recent difficulties, not helped by tensions between Venezuela and the US, she still returns. Will Grant accompanied her on a recent visit.
Barranquitas is unique. It has the highest incidence of Huntington's in the world. Instead of 1 in 10,000, the rate in this village is more like 1 in 10. 1,000 villagers already have the disease, a further 5,000 are carrying the gene. When Nancy first came to Barranquitas in 1979, she found the perfect living laboratory for her research. Ciro is someone whose DNA helped inform the work. In 1993, Nancy's team at Columbia University discovered the genetic abnormality responsible for HD, a stutter at the top of chromosome 4. Although the government has helped some families in Barranquitas with new concrete homes, most of the Huntington's sufferers still live in abject poverty.
So this is the beginning to the new home, or this is actually a home?
It used to be like totally just dirt, and they had embedded glass, they had holes, they had garbage, and they have 14 people living here, most of whom had Huntington.
Nancy was so moved by the conditions the Huntington's patients endured in the village, she decided to act. In 1999, she co-founded this care home outside Maracaibo for local HD sufferers. Built on the site of the local brothel, the Casa Hogar now provides a haven for around 50 Huntington's patients whose families can no longer cope. As some families in Barranquitas have 7 or more children with Huntington's, the waiting list to join Casa Hogar is always long. Nancy Wexler's work has some important admirers, among them Sir Michael Rawlins, the chairman of the National Institute for Health and Clinical Excellence, or NICE. The British scientist has started to visit Venezuela often over the past decade.
I really knew nothing about Huntington's disease until I met Nancy about 9 or 10 years ago, and she felt I might have something to contribute because I'm a clinical pharmacologist, I'm not a geneticist. And she was hunting for cures, and so she persuaded me to come down here, and I was captivated by it. It's an extraordinary environment. I have full of admiration for her and her colleagues who have done epidemiological research in what by most standards is a very unpromising environment, and has managed to do it so successfully too.
Unfortunately, persuading the Chavez government of that same importance has proved difficult. While successive health ministers have voiced support for the research to restart, no protocol has yet been signed, and there have been few indications of progress on the issue since 2002. Government funding for Casa Hogar is also minimal.